Coming up in this Brightline construction update. This update looks at the current progress throughout Indian River County. We'll start on the north end of the county at Roseland Road, then work our way to the south end of the county at Highlands Drive, looking at almost every crossing in the county in the process. North of Roseland Road is the Sebastian River Bridge. South, there is currently a temporary alignment while work on the second half of the new bridge is ongoing. Ties are laid around the curve north of Main Street. Track panels have been built and staged for when this crossing is rebuilt and double-tracked. South of Fellsmere Road, more ties are laid out, ready for rail. There are new intermediate signals north of the Old Dixie Highway crossing. Materials are staged for when Schumann Drive is rebuilt. Ties are also in place in this area. More intermediate signals are south of 99th Street. The old one here will eventually be removed. Ties are still needed north of Wabasso Road. More intermediate signals are south with extra heads as an advance for the new Vero Beach crossover. Most of the track work alongside Old Dixie Highway is on the west side of the existing main line and therefore out of view from the road. From 77th Street, you can see some of the ties set to the north. This is a concrete plant that regularly receives rail deliveries. This is the location of the future CP Vero Beach crossover. The crossover is located just north of the 69th Street crossing. Ties are laid to the south. Let's take to the sky to get a better look at the new crossover. Here's one of the new number 24 turnouts that is ready to be installed in the existing main line. Sub-ballast is in place all along the corridor, ready for track to be laid. Around the curve is the concrete plant I showed earlier. It will eventually be served from the new West Main Line once it is constructed. From this point of view, you can see both turnouts ready to be installed. Once they are installed, work on the other two turnouts that will complete the crossover will begin. South of 69th Street, a new turnout has been constructed for the Vero Beach team track. As part of the upgrades to FRA Class 6 track for the higher speeds in this area, all of the old wooden turnouts in the main line are being replaced by new concrete ones. Here's a straight down look at the new number 24 turnout, along with the two new panels that will be installed in the 69th Street crossing. Now back on the road at 65th Street. Ties are laid to the north. This is the crossing for access to the Hawks Nest Golf Course. And here's the now complete North Canal Bridge. South of the 53rd Street crossing is the current north end of the Gifford siding. The siding will eventually become part of the second main line. There is also another rail-served concrete plant here. Here's the 49th Street crossing. These next several crossings are all on the existing siding, so while there were already two tracks in place, they have been upgraded to the new standard with additional crossing protection added. The new crossing protection at all the crossings shown are covered in plastic until the second main line is fully activated in a future signal cutover. Here's the new turnout for the Gifford team track. Between 41st Street and 32nd Street is where the new CP Gifford crossover will be located. Here are some of the parts for the future crossover. The first of the new turnouts for the crossover is starting to be assembled here. And here's the 32nd Street crossing, which provides access to the Vero Beach Regional Airport. The Gifford siding ends just south of the crossing. Here's the completed main canal bridge. The 26th Street crossing begins a string of 3 crossings in close proximity. The second crossing is 14th Street. The third is 23rd Street. South of 19th Street was the last area to be cleared and sub-ballast placed. The 16th Street crossing was the most recent crossing to be completed. Twelfth Street was actively being rebuilt as I drove past. The Glendale Road crossing still needs to be rebuilt. Initial ballast has been placed south of the crossing. The new track panels for the 4th Street crossing are pre-built to the north. Track has begun being constructed to the south of 1st Street. You can see some of this newly constructed track across this retention pond. The Oslo Road crossing was also actively being rebuilt. Here's a look at this progress from above. The track panel for the new second main line had been installed earlier in the day. Track crews were beginning to add additional ties off the end of the crossing. Signal crews were also working to relocate the crossing protection and wire in the new locations. Once all of the track work is completed, work will shift to regrading and paving the roads, along with the associated concrete work. South of the crossing, a track shift has recently been completed, with trains running on a section of new track. In the distance is the new CP Oslo crossover. Past it, some surfacing equipment and work train AFW1 are sitting on the new track built south of it in advance of a northbound Florida East Coast Railway through freight to Jacksonville. And here's headed back toward Oslo Road. Our last stop on the road is Highlands Drive, wrapping up our look at the progress in Indian River County. Work will start progressing quickly through the areas I've just shown. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.